Sometimes it's nice to get a simple kind of game, something that's consistent all the way through and doesn't pull any punches. One of the best examples of this is racing games. These things have been around since the earliest days of video games and they don't seem to be going out of style. It's understandable too. As a general rule, you know exactly what to expect from a racing game. Just go fucking fast. But over the years, game developers have succeeded in putting their own spin on it. The lowest hanging fruit is Mario Kart, which is fun as hell, but it is totally fucking rigged. Then you got shit like F-Zero X, where you can literally just murder the other racers. But at the end of the day, that's all it is, racing. But of course, with a company like Rareware, it can never be that simple. And the reason I stress the simplicity and linearity of racing games so much is to put a game like Diddy Kong Racing into perspective. With Diddy Kong Racing, Rareware has managed to take a concept as generally simple as racing and turn it into an adventure. Remember when Rareware used to do that? Adventures? Sea of Thieves is an adventure to the far-off island of disappointment, but that's not the same. Diddy Kong Racing, on the other hand, is an adventure on the island of, this guy?
I am the genie of the island. I'm here to help you. Good luck. Hello, friend. Select your vehicle. Abracadabra. Can I help you further? Bye-bye for now.
I love this guy. Diddy Kong Racing is comprised of 5 worlds, split into 4 racetracks, 1 boss level each, and 1 bonus area for 4 of them. The goal is simple: get first place in each racetrack once. Beat the boss in a race, then beat the tracks again while also collecting 8 silver coins from each, beat the boss again to get a piece of an amulet, then move on to the next world. Each world also has a secret key that allows you to unlock a bonus level. When you beat the bonus level, you get a piece of an entirely different amulet. Each world also has a Grand Prix mode where you play through all 4 of the world's tracks to get a gold trophy. So yes, this game is a collectathon. The game allows you not only to use cars, but also hovercrafts and planes, allowing you to conquer all the elements. Only thing left is space, the final frontier. And guess what? You do that too. You gotta love, everyone says that Miyamoto must have had an awful heroin addiction to have been able to come up with Mario. Well, what the fuck were the Rareware people on? You got a bunch of animal friends racing each other so an Indian elephant can give you fucking balloons, so you can beat a giant intergalactic pig wizard in a race that somehow keeps him from taking over the island for some reason? Fucking crazy. Wait a minute, what's this? Get it?
No! I don't get it!
One of the things that puts this game well above Mario Kart, for example, is the fact that the items you get aren't random. In Mario Kart, you drive through a box and get a completely random item. If you were in first place, you get shit items, but if you're lagging behind, you get better ones. Now, I love Mario Kart, but that part of it has always bothered me. What it does is mitigate the skill divide between the racers, which I find to be a very misguided design choice because it almost seems like a slap in the face to people who are genuinely skilled at the game. In Diddy Kong Racing, there are color-coded balloons that always reappear in the exact same place, meaning that anyone can get the desired items. When everyone can get the same items, the only things that really determine the outcome is how good you are at using said items and how good you are at racing, and not whether or not you actually get the items. Of course, what this means is that racing against the computers is real easy. Except Wizpig, he's a dick. Despite being an N64 game, the controls are surprisingly tight, with the exception of the hovercraft. Things like turning and drifting are very responsive. Also, if you hit the brake while drifting, you can actually turn really sharp corners, which is really helpful. In fact, I'd go as far as to say the controls are almost as good as Audible.com, the premier location for audiobooks. Act now and get the first 30 days free. Now, I'm not actually sponsored by Audible, but all the popular guys are, so fake it till you make it, I guess. The graphics are bright and colorful, the aesthetic is naturally cartoony and whimsical. It's not a technical breakthrough, especially for Rare standards, but it does look pretty good. The water effects are particularly impressive. The sound department is great. All the characters have distinct voices, which can be funny at times, and other times a little bit annoying. Unfortunately, this is before Conker became alcoholic, so he's kinda just a little bitch. Also, we got Banjo in here, but I haven't seen Kazooie. What's up with that? You want to tell us where Kazooie is? Is she dead in there? There's also some characters that ended up in other Rare games. Tip Top ended up in Banjo, There's a character in Nuts and Bolts that some believe resembles Timber, Crunch is a generic Kremling, but then what the fuck happened to Pipsy and Bumper? Well, Bumper gambled away his winnings, which landed him in crippling debt before he was taken down by the mob, and Pipsy? Eventually the winnings were not enough to feed her heroin addiction and she turned to prostitution. And Diddy Kong didn't do shit to help out either of them. What a great friend, huh? Oh, and Wizpig? He's a woman now. Yep. Diddy Kong Racing is a great game. It's not an extremely ambitious game on the level of most Rareware titles, but it's definitely fun. And if the single player didn't win you over, well, it's got an obligatory multiplayer mode. There's room for everybody as long as you only have 3 friends.